we're going to do the cold open for what to watch. Stand by for countdown. 5, 4, no, you're not supposed to count down. I count down, not you. Let's go again. Stand by for cold open for what to watch. 5, 4, no! Stop moving your heads. I'm counting down, you don't move your heads. Let's go again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh my God, I forgot what I was supposed to say.
Dude, I'm just so amazed we got a chroma. I didn't even, how long we've had this?
Oh my God, it's so soft.
Yeah. I'm gonna walk away. Jolene has a bat. Hey everyone, brand new Happy New Year to you. Woo! Welcome to a new episode of What to Watch, the show that's officially lasts longer than Ronda Rousey's UFC career.
Yeah, or at least her last fight. Hey guys, welcome. Welcome, I'm Peyton Frowell, this is Chris Gates as always. This episode, obviously a lot of people, a lot of YouTube channels have already started talking about their most anticipated movies of the year, their best 2016. So we thought we would skip the best of 2016, get right into the here and now.
Rogue One, sorry, go ahead.
Get right, Rogue One. Get right into the here and now. We're going to start talking about our most anticipated movies of 2017. We're not going to do a top 10 list like a lot of the YouTubers. We're just going to get our top 5.
There's a lot out there.
There's a lot out there. We each have a top 5 list that we're just going to kind of go over a little, kind of quickly, why we're excited about them.
Yeah.
And we'll maybe tell you about some movies you maybe didn't know were coming out this year. And send you on your merry way. Give you a little kiss on the forehead, you know?
All right, of course, Leonard. We're going to get you set right this new year. Tell you how to spend your money correctly.
Yeah, going to send you off to school. Send you off to school with a little backpack, a little snack pack.
There you go, snack pack and a Fandango movie ticket. I don't know. No, that's not happening.
Words are hard.
Okay, all right.
We're going to get to our number one. My number one movie I'm looking forward to, and this is in no particular order. I'm just going with the first one on my little notes here. First one I'm going to talk about is John Wick 2.
Yes.
If you guys haven't seen the first John Wick, you are missing out. Keanu Reeves is electric as John Wick. Usually watching Keanu Reeves in his earlier movies, he kind of built up this he was kind of typecast as the dumb guy, or maybe a kind of this blank slate that the audience would project themselves on. Not in John Wick. John Wick, he is a scary man. They call him the boogeyman, because he just keeps coming for you. And I'm so excited for this movie because it's gonna be a lot bigger than the original John Wick. A lot of the same people, the same directors coming back, and the same fight choreographers are coming back. The last trailer that dropped looked amazing. So John Wick Chapter 2 is the first movie I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, it definitely is. You know, if you haven't seen the first one, I think USA is actually showing it this weekend, or they're getting ready to show it. So you can watch it on cable television. Definitely recommend it, especially since the movie comes out February 10th, so next month. The first one on my...
You got. We're just going to flip that over. Okay.
I was going to look and see your list here. I was trying to be nice.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to just help you.
We'll alternate.
We'll alternate. But yeah, first one on my list, coming out coming out February 24th, is to Get Out. And this is Jordan Peele's first directorial movie. Well, not first one, but his directorial movie for a horror movie. And he's directing it, and Allison Williams from Girls is starring in it, and Keith Stanfield from Atlanta. He's playing as the main, I think, protagonist character.
One of the. No, he's not the main protagonist.
I'm sorry.
He plays the guy in the trailer.
That's right.
The guy brainwashed.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. But anyway, if you haven't seen the trailer, the movie is that the guy, he's going on to go visit her parents. But what they don't know is that he's black, she's white, and her parents don't know that she's dating a black man. And so he wants to know how they will perceive him coming over. So it's almost kind of like, it kind of starts off like, look who's coming for dinner. But then it's a horror movie aspect, because when he gets there, he sees that there's a ton of black people that are on this,
it's kind of like a plantation.
It's almost like a plantation, and they're all seem to be kind of almost like in slavery times. They're kind of brainwashed. And he's just sitting there like wondering what's going on, and it's a suspenseful thriller. Some people are kind of label it as a black horror film. I see it as just a horror film, and it has an intriguing premise to it, and I'm looking forward to it.
Really excited
because
about
you know it's something new, and Jordan Peele's doing it, and you know most of you know Peele, Key and Peele for the comedy sketch.
Yeah.
So to see him kind of directing this and doing this, I'm looking forward to it because it's outside of his realm that he's not known for.
And he directed and wrote most of the scenes in Key and Peele, which were very well directed, very well produced skits, at least more so than we're used to seeing. So I'm really excited about it. Next on my list is probably a movie that a lot of people haven't heard about, Wind River. It doesn't have a release date right now, but it is written and directed by Taylor Sheridan. Taylor Sheridan is kind of this newcomer. He's been an actor for a while, but he has just started writing, and he wrote Sicario, which, as everyone knows, was directed by Denis Villeneuve, was one of the big hits, critical acclaimed films of last year. Last year being 2015, not 2016. And then this past year, 2016, man, that 2017, it's getting me looped up. I'm getting the last year.
Yeah, no, it's all right. It's got
so 2016, he wrote Hell or High Water, which is in my picks for best movies of the year. Yeah. Hell or High Water, and then Sicario was one of the, go see it, go rent it if you haven't seen it. Both Sicario and Hell or High Water. He wrote both those movies. This movie he's going to be directing. Now, with Sicario, he had Denis Villeneuve directing it, and in Hell or High Water, he had Dave McKenzie directing it. So it'll be interesting to see how Taylor Sheridan looks with sitting in the directorial chair. So you know it's going to be a well-written film, at least, if his prior work is anything to go off of.
Definitely.
Just to give you kind of a general idea of the plot, it's starring Jeremy Renner and Elizabeth Olsen, Hawkeye and Scarlet Witch.
I guess once again, they don't get away from each other.
Yeah, Jeremy Renner and Elizabeth Olsen as a hunter and an FBI agent looking for the perpetrators of a murder on a Native American reservation. And it's going to be weird. Hopefully it has that same Taylor Sheridan dirty feel that Sicario and Hell or High Water had. So I'm definitely looking forward to Wind River.
I think it's going to be good, and you can't do wrong with Elizabeth Olsen, Jeremy Renner, two some of the finest actors right now out there. Number 2 on my list, coming out March the 3rd, is Logan, probably the last X-Men film that features, solo X-Men film featuring Wolverine. Hugh Jackman once again is reprising his role as Old Man Logan, that's based off the comic books. This movie is not a, I guess you can't, it doesn't sequel the events of X-Men Day of Apocalypse that came out last year. This is more of a sequel to the solo Wolverine movies like the Wolverine and even the old X-Men trilogy. It's so hard with the timeline.
I love that you combine Days of Future Past and
I'm sorry.
Apocalypse together. Days of Apocalypse.
Days of Apocalypse. X-Men Apocalypse or Days of Future Past. Those two were sequels. Logan is it's another standalone movie. Talks about Logan and the future where mutants are pretty much not extinct, but they're being hunted down. You also have Patrick Stewart reprising his role as Professor Xavier. Yeah. One of the reasons why I'm looking forward to this movie, it has a for those who ever played The Last of Us, the PS3 survival horror game, it has that almost that Delaric future sense to it. You know, it's not a bleak future. It's just like it reminds me of a future where humanity is down on this, you know, it's down and out, and it seems very bleak, and you have that one existing hope. And I really like the direction that they're kind of going with it. You got James Mangold, I think, is back. He's directed the movie, and the Wolverine wasn't perfect, but I did like it. And I'm liking the direction so far, what they've shown in this trailer. I actually like how it looks. I like the direction of it. I think it's a fitting end for Hugh Jackman, who's been playing this character for the last 15 plus years. It's been crazy how long he's been playing Wolverine.
And one thing that you can't say about Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, even though the Wolverine Origins, all those movies were critically panned, one thing everybody agrees on is that Hugh Jackman brings his character to life.
He does.
And everything around it could be crap, but Hugh Jackman is going to be Wolverine.
Yeah.
And one thing he's going to do right in Logan is be Logan.
He's gonna be Logan. He's gonna do that, and so
Yeah.
that's and definitely, and it's rated R too. So
Oh, that's gonna be great.
It's everything's out on the table.
Thank you, Deadpool, for allowing people to make rated R comic book movies. All right, the next movie I'm talking about is another one maybe not a lot of people have heard of. It's called Molly's Game. Molly's Game comes out hopefully later on this year. Hasn't had a release date announced, but this is the first directorial shot by Aaron Sorkin. Aaron Sorkin, if you don't know, wrote the majority of The West Wing, The Newsroom, wrote Oscar-nominated film The Social Network.
Yes,
I mean, just
it.
pick a great achievement of his. And this is the first time he's actually trying to direct. Obviously, he's writing it himself. It's starring Jessica Chastain, Idris Elba. It's all coming together to be this kind of amazing film with talent like this behind the camera and in front of the camera. Can't wait for this movie. Molly's Game, check it out.
Molly's Game is gonna be good. I mean, shoot. I mean, Idris Elba, Teresa Whitaker. You better watch out. Your husband's out there.
Yep.
Next on my list, March 31st, Ghost in the Shell. It's kind of funny. The movie comes out in about 2 months, and a lot of controversy came from casting Jessica.
Scarlett Johansson. You're thinking of Jessica Chastain.
No,
it's okay.
I was thinking of Jessica Lopez. No, I'm just kidding.
Jessica Lopez.
No, sorry, because Jessica Chastain. No, Scarlett Johansson is playing as Major, the main character throughout all the Ghost in the Shell series. You know, a lot of people are like, oh, you know, they cast a white actress playing typically a Japanese role. If you get past that, and really honestly, that part really doesn't really bother me too much because honestly, Scarlett Johansson is one of the hottest actresses out there right now, and she does look the part of Major. Like they're doing the best they can to look it. And the movie, from the trailers that we've seen so far, the feel in the movie, it looks like the animated TV series. Like I'm actually really impressed how much of the animated, the manga and the animated TV series and movies they have put into it. The details, well, a lot of characters. It seems, and she's playing the role of Major. She's playing a more cold, Major role very well. I'm very, very impressed with it, and so it's a movie that I'm really looking forward to. Mainly because you know this is a really good TV series, a really good manga, and it seems that Universal is trying to, and the film producers and directors are really trying to keep the world in line that people at least seem to like. You know. We could go 50-50, but I'm giving it a shot despite everything.
And one of the things I'm really excited about is Michael Pitt being in it, Brad Pitt's brother. A lot of people, I believe he's playing the villain in the movie, and he played a great villain in the American Funny Games, which if you haven't seen Funny Games, I believe it stars Naomi Watts and some other people, but it's an adaptation of a German horror film, and he's absolutely captivating.
And if he's a Pitt, just like Casey Affleck, Ben Affleck, that fine actors, they'll work well. And
Michael Pitt was also in Boardwalk Empire. So
okay. Well, then he's sold. So they're doing their best to really keep this out. So I'm keeping a definite open eye March 31st for this movie.
Yeah. And my next one, I'm going a little less vague with Dunkirk. Obviously, a lot of people are excited about Dunkirk. This is Christopher Nolan's next film. Oh my goodness. Christopher Nolan, to me, whatever a lot of people might say, Christopher Nolan hasn't made a bad film. Now, has he made imperfect films? Absolutely. Has he made a bad film? Absolutely not. A lot of people like to hate on Dark Knight Rises, maybe even Interstellar. I personally love Interstellar.
I would say he's made movies at the very worst, maybe what you would call disappointing.
Yeah.
And even then, I would still say
there's
other disappointing films besides those.
It was one of those things where with Dark Knight you couldn't live up to the hype of The Dark Knight being the sequel of that. But if you go at it without that, it's still a very entertaining movie. This isn't a review of Dark Knight Rises, though, but I like to defend those movies.
We're defending them because this is another Christopher Nolan movie, and a lot of people kind of look at his last two being The Dark Knight Rises and Interstellar. Some are saying they're not as good as when he was doing Inception and The Dark Knight.
Right, but this movie, when they released the teaser trailer for it, it blew up the internet. It was an exciting minute and a half of just it's hard to describe because it was Not a lot happening, but you got the sense of the scale that this movie's working on. Obviously, you have actors like Tom Hardy, Cillian Murphy, and you know it's going to be well acted. You know it's going to be well produced. You know there's a lot of money going into it. Recently, we talked about, well, not recently, a few months ago, we talked about how they were putting a bunch of IMAX cameras in this plane and then crashing it.
And it's an antique plane too, yeah.
Yeah, it's a real warplane that they're putting IMAX cameras and just crashing it into the ground. So I cannot wait to see the kind of production that this film is working with, seeing it all come together. The trailer looks amazing. The prologue that a few people got to see before Rogue One in a few IMAX theaters across the country. It was about 7 or 8 minutes of the film. It jumped around in the film, showed a little bit of this, a little bit of that. A lot of people were really excited about it. The thing people were hung up on was that it was rated PG-13, the prologue, but we don't have a rating yet on Dunkirk. So a lot of people are like, is this going to be a rated PG-13 war film? How's that going to work? I'm also interested in seeing what the rating comes down to. But right now, with all the information I have, what I've seen of the movie, I'm still very excited about this movie. And it's Christopher Nolan. I know I'm at least going to be entertained watching this movie.
And for those who probably wonder, is this going to be Christopher Nolan's first rated R movie? This is rated R, no, because he's done Memento and he's done Insomnia. Both of them are rated R
as well.
And so yeah, definitely. When does that come out again, Dunkirk?
It comes out July 21st.
So yeah, we had to circle that on there. The next one on my list is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Really not much you have to say about it. The original Guardians of the Galaxy, I'll be honest with you, I was not looking. I was like, I didn't know what to expect because I didn't know anything about the Guardians of the Galaxy. I thought Marvel was just grasping for straws at that point. Cause I was just like, man, they're just really running out of ideas. And it turned out to be probably one of my favorite movies from 2014. And this so far, from the teaser trailer and just the 2 trailers they have released so far, hilarious. I'm just looking forward to all the characters come back, especially Bautista's Drax. Oh my goodness, he seems to have all the comedic moments, and they're just deadpan timed perfectly. Like I said before, just really looking forward to it. I think it's going to really kick off. It comes out May 5th. I think that's going to kick it off. Marvel seems to have another A+ movie in their sleeves.
That's when Civil War came out, so you know that it'll pay money to have that gigantic movie.
It will, and and honestly, it's too early to call out the limb. Just like I said last year, it was too early to call out Civil War. And yes, Civil War really kind of trying to be one of my favorite comic book movies of the year. Really, that and Doctor Strange, they kind of fought each other.
And Kurt Russell as Og the Living Planet.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know if you guys know about it, but Kurt Russell's going to be playing a living planet who is Chris Pratt's father in the movie. That's just so much comic book. I can't handle it.
And with the Avengers movie finally going to the Infinity War coming out next year, I'm really excited to see how this movie is going to set up for the next Avengers movies. Because of those who, spoiler alert for Doctor Strange, as you know, Thor character showed up at the end of Doctor Strange, and Doctor Strange is going to be the next Thor movie. So I'm just really seeing how all this is going to turn around and make this into the big cinematic, showdown that Marvel's really built up to. So definitely looking forward to that on May 5th.
Next one I'm going to talk about. This is another vague one. Sorry, guys. If you've been watching long enough, you know that I'm into some really vague indie films, and I'm proud of that.
That's what's so great about him, because a lot of these things you wouldn't know about, unless this man provides you information. That's why you should subscribe and like us.
So we're talking about another movie that doesn't have a release date. I think of the 5 or 6 movies that I have on here, the 5 or 6 of them, maybe 4 don't have a release date. So some of these might end up not coming out in 2017, but I'm so excited about them. I cannot wait to talk about them.
Of course.
So the one that I haven't heard really anybody talk about that I'm super excited about and hopefully comes out this year is a movie called 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. And what a title. 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. It's directed by Martin McDonagh, which, if you don't know that name, he directed a movie called In Bruges, starring Colin Farrell, Ralph Fiennes. It's just so, he's so good at telling dark comedy stories, and his movies have an energy to them, and they have kind of this fairy tale-esque feeling to them. He also directed Seven Psychopaths, which had Sam Rockwell, had Christopher Walken, Woody Harrelson. It was a crazy movie.
Colin Farrell on that one as well.
Colin Farrell as well. It's just an insane movie. Hopefully Colin Farrell turns up in this one. But Frances McDormand is playing a mom whose daughter is murdered, and she ends up trying to investigate it on her own. And Woody Harrelson and Sam Rockwell are coming back, and they play two cops who are trying to get in the way of things. And again, that name is Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. Hopefully coming out sometime this year. Could not be more excited about this movie. He's kind of like a one-man Coen brothers.
I mean, you already you had me with just the name title, but then you told me what the story's about and who's starring in it. I'm excited. Shoot, that's great. It's better than 7 heads in a duffel bag. Anyway, one of the last movies on my list is coming out June 2nd. Once again, going back to I have 4 comic movies in a row. I'm going back to the comic books.
At least you're consistent.
I am consistent. If anything than that, ladies, I'm consistent. Wonder Woman. This one particularly, I put this on there because I'll be the first to tell you I was disappointed with DC last year with Suicide Squad and Batman v Superman. However, open-minded, there are good things about it that I did like, particularly Ben Affleck Batman. But most importantly, more than anything else, is Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman, Princess Diana. I know she didn't really get a lot to flex her muscles or flex herself in the Batman v Superman, but Gal Gadot so far, from what I've seen from the Wonder Woman trailers and just from her performance in that and Batman v Superman, I am so impressed with her. Like this is almost daylight where she's kind of just come out of nowhere. Of all the actresses for a long time, they've been trying to get Wonder Woman on the screen and trying to put her characters on there. There was a lot of talk about like who's perfect for it, who you're gonna get, how's it gonna work out. She has been amazing, and this movie to me, I think is gonna really push forward the female superheroes coming out there. There's a lot of them. Marvel's getting ready. They're gonna do Miss Marvel. They want to push that out there in the next few years. And so I really hope that Wonder Woman's not just successful, but actually really good.
Yeah.
That it will set this new trend because she is one of the most iconic superheroes out there.
She's the part of the Trinity.
She is.
Yeah.
And I like the direction, them going World War I, and I like Chris Pine, and I like them dealing with that aspect. It kind of reminds me, the way how they're doing it, they're almost kind of doing how Marvel did with Captain America, the First Avenger, how you set that story up, and I'm looking forward to it. It really, Patty Jenkins is directing it, and so it looks good. It looks good.
It definitely looks like one of the most lighter of the most light of the DC films so far. It had some humor in the trailer. I hope, this is a turnaround for the
especially
DC
with
universe.
Justice League coming out later in 2017, November. More likely, it's probably going to be. It has some humor when we saw it to it, but it'll probably be the darker of their movies that are coming out. But we'll see. But
even the Justice League trailer had some comedy.
It had a lot. It had something that Batman v Superman didn't. And I take back what I say about Suicide Squad. It was humorous. It has some humor moments in it, so that's a plus. But still, hopefully this year is a big turnaround for DC because if they have the same year they did last year, Marvel is just once again just going to have an ante on them.
The problem with Suicide Squad is it was trying too hard to be funny, and I think that had a lot to do with some of the reshoots because of Batman Superman. Well, that's a whole nother episode. But we're gonna keep moving forward. I know I said that these don't really have rankings, like we haven't really done a top 5. We just kind of accumulated some movies that we wanted to talk about. But if we were ranking them, this would be my number 1. The movie I'm looking forward to the most of 2017, another movie that doesn't quite have a release date. I know you're sensing a trend, but it is the untitled Paul Thomas Anderson movie starring the Daniel Day-Lewis. I could not be more excited about this movie.
That's done.
Because Paul Thomas Anderson being one of my favorite directors, if not my favorite director, starring Daniel Day-Lewis, my hands-down favorite actor, brings it 100% every time he comes to the silver screen. Universal and Focus Features just picked it up at Toronto Film Festival. It's going to have a $35 million budget, so I guess that's a small movie nowadays, but that's that's going to be enough to get some really good production value
But
going
for
on.
those of you who haven't seen Paul Thomas Anderson movies, they don't really need that huge budget.
They don't. He tells...
And they're amazing stories. Like you said, how many times we've talked about that There Will Be Blood is probably arguably one of our favorite movies of all time, or at least one of our top 5.
Yeah, it's hands down my favorite movie. It gets watched in my household at least twice a month, and or at least 2 or 3 times a month.
So you're better than me. To me, I almost do like a Christmas Story.
Yeah, you just watch it annually.
I have to watch it annually at least.
But it's supposed to be about the fashion industry, and one of my favorite films of 2016 was The Neon Demon. Even though not a lot of people liked it, I thought it was very original, and I really liked the environment of the fashion industry, kind of in that horror genre. And so I want kind of more of that, but with Daniel Day-Lewis, who knows what kind of movie this is going to be? I mean, and when you stack up Paul Thomas Anderson's resume, we're talking The Master, There Will Be Blood, Magnolia, Boogie Nights. A lot of people didn't like Inherent Vice. I loved Inherent Vice. I said Boogie Nights already, but like you just keep going and going.
You named all the great ones, and every last one of those movies you named, there's at least 1, 2, if not multiple scenes that people will sit there and can just talk about. That
Hard Eight's another good one.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
But he has such a way of telling stories, and he has a way of bringing a world, bringing a subculture really to life. And Daniel Day-Lewis has a way of bringing not only his own character, but other people up to his level. And that's why I'm so excited, because no matter who they cast in this movie, they're going to give a performance of a lifetime, because they have to match with Daniel Day-Lewis.
And for those who still haven't seen There Will Be Blood, just watch it, because Daniel Day-Lewis clearly, I know the movie is not about him, but his performance of Daniel Plainview is something that needs to be seen, because it transcends just that of cinema. It is just that good of a character.
And I don't blame a lot of people. There Will Be Blood's a hard sell, because anybody who asks me what my favorite part of There Will Be Blood is, I kind of tell them the beginning, because the beginning really sets the tone for the rest of the movie. And in the beginning of the film, Daniel Plainview, Daniel Day-Lewis's character, doesn't really say anything until 14 minutes into the movie. So for the first 14 minutes, it's really a silent film. And when you tell people that, they went, "Wait, there ain't no words in this movie?"
I was like, I never even heard of such a thing.
That's insane. So a lot of people don't watch it, and that's really unfortunate, because it's probably one of the better films, and definitely one of the better performances of the new millennium.
Of course.
So Daniel Day-Lewis, Paul Thomas Anderson in this Untitled movie. I can't wait to even hear what the name of the movie is, because I'm going to buy it day one.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you're going to see it if you can day one.
I'm sure it's going to be something long, maybe not as long as.
Take our word for it. If you if you consider yourself, or if you want to be into movies, a movie geek, a movie buff, whatever, you really should check out Paul Thomas Anderson movies and Daniel Day-Lewis movies, because they will not disappoint you.
Especially this one, whenever it gets announced for a release date.
2017, whatever, it's going to be great.
Take us home, Chris.
Last one. This is an honorable mention I just want to put out there. War for the Planet of the Apes. I was going to say War of the Planet of the Apes. War for the Planet of the Apes started with Woody Harrelson. It's the 3rd sequel to really the surprisingly good.
Technically, it's the 2nd sequel.
2nd sequel, sorry, but it's the,
the first one's the first one.
The 3rd movie in the new Planet of the Apes franchise, which has just amazed me along the way. I cannot believe, from the days of James Franco and the rise of Planet of the Apes to now, this is just. I love the character Caesar. I love the direction they've been taking. He's a very, Caesar is. As a monkey, you don't the way how these movies are done, you don't really see like the apes as these these dirty little scoundrels, or really the antagonists. They're really.
Andy Serkis does such a good job.
Andy Serkis does such a great job just performing these characters. I am just amazed with it. This is beyond anything from the Charlton Heston days, because I mean. This is better than the doggone TV series they did back in the.
Oh my goodness, is it?
But no, I'm really looking forward to it. Woody Harrelson is one of my favorite actors. He's finally in this series. In the trailer, it just looks amazing. Just I'm sold. I'm really amazed on it. When they did the Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and they had the apes riding on horseback with machine guns. I remember sitting there in the theaters and I said, this is the new greatest film franchise Fox has right now. And they're doing a good job making sure this franchise stays good. And I'm really looking forward to it. Comes out July 14th. I think it's going to be a great summer movie.
Quick question. Do you think Cobra comes back from the original?
Of course.
From the second one?
Oh, yes.
You think it comes back?
I think so, because really he's become the antagonist that they really have set for the film. If it's not him, they'll have someone else, but I think he's going to come back.
Yeah, I definitely hope so.
He is... Caesar realizes, and I'm sorry, film for spoilers if those haven't seen it, but the main character Caesar that these new movies are based off, Caesar realizes what kind of person he wants to be and that he doesn't want to be, and Caesar that's against it. Because really, realistically, as bad as things have been, especially with the humans, he kind of does want a peace. He wants some sort of truce. Right. But it's been kind of difficult. But yeah, that's on my list.
It looks awesome.
It does.
And if you guys want to see, I don't know why I folded up my list.
Something wrong with that. You didn't have an honorable mention?
Yeah, I did. I think I said it. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
If you want to keep up to date on all the movies we named coming up through the year, especially the ones that don't have release dates, you want to just stay up to date on all of the movie news on our Facebook page. Follow us on all social media at WRBL What to Watch. You can see all our videos on WRBL.com. And you just go to the Watch tab and click What to Watch on 3. Also, you can hit subscribe on that little red button right there on YouTube, and you can hit like on this video if you enjoyed it and want to see more.
Peyton, halfway through this list, you stopped writing stuff on there, and you just start writing, you know, Peyton's a pretty little girl. No fun makes Peyton a dull girl. Peyton. I like Peyton. Is this something you want to tell me, man?
I'm a pretty girl. I'm a pretty girl.
So I could get
a pretty girl.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'm a pretty girl.
Okay. Are you gonna dig a hole now like a size of the lamb and start throwing people in there and feeding them? Is that what you're gonna do?